Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is our Million Mom Movement, third edition of the Lunch and Learn, which is a very new series I'm excited to be presenting for the first time. My name is Carmela Velarde. I am a council member, one of 6, on the Million Mom Movement Council, and I'm proud to be here with this community because we are growing an evolving activism arm with the company Purium. And why I'm so passionate about this movement is because we are looking for 1,000 people in 100 communities to impact 10 families each to eat cleaner and greener, to focus on this as a lifestyle educational portal for you to invite friends and family to learn more about our community and what we're all about. So we are here to make an impact on the world through our voices, through our superfood lifestyle. And really, this marketing platform is about all of you. It's about the movement of many. The movement of many includes caregivers, dads, aunts, uncles, children. And really what we are in the Lunch and Learn, we're focused on topics, specific subjects that we don't typically cover in the field of Purium. So we get to talk about women's and family issues and topics that are really relevant in the field of wellness. And I love this topic. I brought it to the attention of our chair, Stephanie Dawn, and it is positive body image and nutrition. So thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Even if you're on the replay, please share this out to friends and family members who you feel would need to hear this information, because we have a community growing every Friday on what's called Fierce Friday. So we host a Zoom with the council at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific every week. And we do also have our YouTube channel. So this YouTube channel hosts all of the replays of our past events. So this Lunch and Learn is a series that I'm excited to host today. And really the reason is because I feel that as a mom of 2, I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, that throughout the course of time, from me getting to the age of 43, we go through all different ideas of what is healthy, beautiful, and do they connect? Do they meet? Does beauty and wellness actually connect? And in the world of information and education, I used to previously own a wellness center. I've been a holistic practitioner for 20 years. I've been a licensed massage therapist, Reiki master, and I'm a student of acupuncture and herbology. And I've been on a mission to help heal my body from toxin injuries through food, through chemicals, through chemical damage. And it's an ongoing process to focus on gut health and healing. And does it relate to beauty? Absolutely, because beauty is from the inside out. And for me, beauty always shines through my skin. And my skin actually is the largest organ, and it's an indicator of how we detoxify on a physical level, right? From the inside out. And so this has been my issue. And I've been a performance artist my whole life, and actually did child modeling, and I've been on stage, and I've been signed onto a record band. And really what I found was that images of beauty and perceptions of beauty were not always congruent with wellness, right? I always felt like there were people in the world of beauty that would much rather advise you to go under a knife or to consider other unnatural ways to provoke more vitality and usefulness, the image of that at least. So that affected me a lot raising my daughter and my son. So today we get to talk to 3 wonderful, incredible stories. So I have a treat for you. And get ready, guys. This is different than the other Lunch and Learns. The previous Lunch and Learns was about infertility and postpartum depression and all different other issues that come with that. So please actually check out those other 2. Those are amazing. I'm going to delve into the stories of these 3 women that are going to be talking about 3 very different stories, very different experiences of how beauty and wellness weren't congruent, and then how through the shadows they've been able to transform and come into the light and really create an inspirational brand. So I would like to pull up the very first speaker, and that is Betsy. Surprise, she didn't know she was first, but you're probably all wondering, the three of you, who's calling? So Betsey Hernandez. So she is coming to us today from Miami, and she is Cuban descent, very proud Cuban, and especially what's happening in the world today with Cuba. That is something that she just informed us. And I'd love to say hello to you, Betsy, over there in Miami. How are you today?
Hey, hello everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. I've been talking with you from since like 2 months ago about this space, and I really feel so happy, so glad, so honored, so grateful to be able to speak and to share, because one of the slogans I always have every day in my life is that we came into the world to share our life. And when we have that very clear and we understand we are co-creators of the same world, of the same lifetime, because maybe we met from another timeline, but like right now we are here, and we are here for a reason, for a purpose, right? And co-creating together is the way to all together going forward and building up a future and a legacy for the next generation. Because as 1 million moms, and we are going to get that million and even more, um, that's at the end of the day, that's our main vision, to create a world for our kids, for the next generation, who are going to continue all we have been creating in this lifetime. And
Wait, right there, Betsy, 1 second. So
yes.
I love how she just jumps in and just inspires. Okay, this is sort of how Betsy is. And so she is my brand partner. And I do want to share that she helped me to think of this topic. Why? So she has a daughter that she has created small groups in her living room to create topics around beauty and wellness. And so that's sort of why I wanted you to go first, Betsy.
Okay.
And I wanted to introduce you and tell a little bit about your background so that people get to know who you are.
Okay. Well, first, I am a mom, and as a mom, I have two amazing kids. And being a mom of teenagers, and you know what I'm talking about, in those times, is a really big challenge. I've been struggling a lot of challenge, especially with my daughter and also with my son, but he's growing. He's already older. Um, and I think there are a big problem regarding the auto evaluation, right, and the self esteem in general. That is starting from young age or early age. And beauty, as you said before, is something that it's been distortionated by the social media, by all the information we have around. And our kids, they are looking for a standard of beauty that make us feel that they are not enough. And that is something we have to change, something we have to transform. Educating our kids in what is important. How important is to connect the five body we have, because we are not just this physical appearance. Sorry, it's my son coming inside with the motorcycle. Mommy, at 3 p.m. that happened. So, yeah, our five bodies, our body, physical body, with our mental body, with our emotional body, with our spiritual and electromagnetic field, like all together. Mm-hmm. And that's really important to let them know and to educate them that what we eat, what we do, our habits, everything we create every day is not just affecting us in a physical level. And sometimes they don't understand why I feel sad, or why I feel depressed, or why all the things they are feeling now. And they don't understand because the age, of course, and because the society is showing something totally different. But as as parents, we have to go to the direction of being an example. And that's why I love Purium. And that's why I'm studying Purium, because being an example is our biggest tool. Being an example every day for our kids and also for everybody around us, because unfortunately, guys, many parents are so busy. Many parents are not aware of what is happening with their kids' life and what is happening in the environment they are growing up. And sometimes just being an example as a parent, as a human being, may create conscience in another person, who at the same time going to create conscience in another people, in another person. And for me, I have a portal, and I have a portal, my Phoenix portal, and I've been focusing my. I come from fitness world. Let me explain a little bit so you can understand. I come from dance and fitness world. I've been working for Zumba 20 years, and yeah, but I also has a background in philosophy and piano. So I've been artist all my life, you know, and in that world, beauty standards are really high, and I was suffering a lot for many years. Do not be, you know, the corpulent girl and all the things, and that made me strength from inside. And when I start strengthening from inside, I start receiving respect, I start receiving opportunities, and I start feeling happy. And when you feel happy from inside, you radiate happiness. And then when I understood that it doesn't matter how I look if I am good. If I am, and the verb I am, the verb to be, is very important. I am well, I am good is what matters. So when we are good, when we are okay, we're going to radiate, because we are a reflection for others, and others are a reflection for us. So this is very important to keep in mind. And that's why I'm trying to push and use the movement, because movement is everything. We move when we breathe, we move when we wake up, even we move when we are sleeping. We are moving all day. Movement is everything, and movement is the beginning of transformation. Energy is movement. Energy never stop moving, and how the movement is everywhere. I use the movement to create awareness. So what I am trying to do now is to right to raise to I want to touch people's life using something is fun, using something they can do by themselves, and they don't need to think too much. So the first approach is to bring them to the movement, to dancing, to do something, but keeping our focus not in how we look, but in how we feel. Because there are many people that they don't feel good to go to the gym because I can do that, she does, I can look like that, or that pants or that legging doesn't fit on me the same, whatever. A lot of issues we have, a lot of limitations we have in our mind. But if we see the movement as a condition of evolution, as a tool of evolution, we start accepting ourselves, and we start moving the energy in our entire electromagnetic field. When we move that energy, we start feeling good, and we start feeling the necessity of a transformation, the necessity of do something more. And then we're going to start looking for nutrition. Then we are going to start looking for maybe therapies or help in all levels. But coming to the point, like we are avoiding, we are talking today about our body, about how we see to ourselves. I think this is something we have to push a lot, like the acceptance. But the acceptance comes from the awareness of actually take care of ourselves, understanding that we are individuals and nobody and nothing going to change what we have to change. We are responsible, and responsible is also um, have a double meaning, like it's not just responsibility. We have the ability to respond to ourselves, to transform, to change, to radiate, to, to create transformation and change around us. And well, that's been my, it's it's been all my life, because being a Cuban um, is really challenging, guys. Going out from your country, leaving your country, um, speaking a language is not your first language, and no very good looking language, English on me, because I always have my accent, and sometimes I can't, I don't have all the vocabulary because I am still thinking in other language. All those limitations, someday I say this is not a limitation anymore. This is a motivation to grow. This is a motivation to speak in an universal language. Universal language is being human. It's co-create together. It's love. It's acceptance. It's solidarity. It's unity. You know, and that's what I want to promote. That's my mission. I think that's my purpose in life. Using something I know very well is movement. If I know how to dance, what I want share with the rest of the people. Everybody can do it. Everybody can move, and not just dancing. Just like move your energy, move your hands. Just wake up every morning and go out and walk and just plant trees or do something. Movement is everything. Everything is movement, and you adapt that movement to what you feel confident with that, with it. Like if you like dancing, dance. If you like swimming, swim. If you like running, run. It's beyond what you do. It's how you feel. We have to feel good to make other people feel good. To teach our kids, to be an example to our kids. Like, hey, you know what? Move on. It's that mentality. Like, if you don't feel okay, move. And when you move, you create a different type of energy in your entire aura. And when you change that, then you open and you clear your vision. And when you open and you clear your vision, you can see better the big picture. And when you see the big picture, then you find solutions. And when you find solutions, you solve the problems. And when you solve the problems, then you are able to face new challenge. And when you face new challenge, you are also incorporating more people, and then we are all co-creating. That's what it's about life. That amazing engagement of one with each other. I don't know if you want to ask me something. I just speaking. I
Yes,
speak so
no,
much.
I love hearing your inspiration flow because we had a wonderful conversation, she and I, and Betsy is somebody to follow. Go to her Instagram, Betsy de Cuba on Instagram. She's over 34,000 followers, guys, and her energy on her page is off the charts. You know, you just need to follow her energy, and that's what she's creating for her life. It's beauty through movement, and it's just beautiful flow. And being a mom and really standing up for um, being a model, a role model, what she's saying, being the inspiration, being the light for others in a very dark world is so crucial. So I just wanted to also ask you, Betsy, so how do you incorporate, you had just finished a 30-day challenge for movement medicine, and now you're incorporating the nutrition aspect to your
Yes.
practice to launch. So this is a way to market actually the beginning of your new launch.
Yes. Actually, I start Purium because a friend told me. I've been always trying many other things, and I never was happy with anything because it was too much, and it was too much, and also I didn't feel any change, or or I don't know. I am not, as a Cuban. I don't have that. I didn't have that habit, and I used to eat like a real food, right? But what happened that when you are not in a farm, and you are not close to the ground, what you are eating is not the best. So you never know what you are bringing to your table, right? And I discovered Purium, and I say, wow, this is not just food. This is a movement. This is something like it's a creating awareness. It's creating a community, and I think creating community it's very important for everything. If you don't have a community to share, you are alone, and alone you are not going anywhere. So going together, it's going further, right?
Wow.
And so I found Purion, and Purion. Well, I started trying, and I said, okay, let me try this green thing, you know. And now I can't be separate of my shake or my bioderm or anything like it. I felt so energetic. I am energetic by I think it by in my blood, in my ADN, it's a little bit of extra energy. But taking the period made me feel actually in calm. It made me feel more focused, more more clear, more powerful. It's a kind of when you treat well your body, when you say, "Hey, I love you. Hey, I am doing this for you, so feel good." Body say yes, and immediately you start looking. Everybody asks me, "What are you doing?" I am also 43, by the way, like
Ah,
you. And everybody asks me like, "Hey, what are you doing? What your skin is looking good, or what you are, because I always been skinny. I never compare my body with any other body. I think everyone is how everyone is, but my constitution is skinny because my family is like that. So I suffer for being skinny, even when you don't believe it, because sometimes the culture and the society they don't accept you that skinny, right? And then you have to say, "I'm sorry, this is me," right? And but using Purium, I feel clean. I feel my body clean, that which is different to be fit. It's clean. I feel clean. I feel healthy. I feel, like I'm ready now to do the rest of my duties. So that's what I found with Purium, and that's why I'm planning to start connecting, because I just did a challenge, healing motion, because I have an injury in my left knee. I got in 2017 on a stage. I just jumped, and I got an injury, really really bad injury. And since that, from then I've been struggling to dance very well. I always have to use a brace, blah blah blah, you know, physiotherapy, everything. And I start drinking Purium, and my joints start to feel better. And then I say, wow, this is magical. And then I did my Reiki too. I took level 1 and 2 of Reiki, and I am I know, I don't need to believe. It's I know energy is there. It's something I have the certainty, right? And I say, okay, I'm gonna use the movement to heal emotion. So I put a purpose to the movement and intent to the movement, movement with intent. And I create a challenge of 30 days moving with intention. And we put an affirmation, daily meditation, because I incorporate to my routine 5 minutes of meditation at the end. So people that are in rush, at least during the workout, they get to do 5 minutes of slowing down meditation and a time for themselves. So I create that challenge, and it was magic, the results. I can move now. I don't need to use my brace. I am so happy how I prove. I say I want to try on myself first, so then I can promote it to other people. And how I finally feel emotion, I want to add for the next challenge period. So
right.
I am creating a transformation 30 days challenge using movement, because you don't need to work out hard. It's just movement, right? Movement for everybody, because I have friends who after 10 push-ups they can more. Hey Betsy, no. Or 10 squat, and that's the real people. That's the people that are going to work every day, and they don't have time to go to the gym 2 hours as many people does. So we have to think global, movement, right? And that's why I create that challenge now. It's a regular movement challenge, very basic, slow motion, very focusing in form more than and quality of the exercise, not the amount or the time or the repetitions. It's more about quality. It's more about connecting with your body, connecting with your soul, connecting with your chakras, and using Purium to detox. And
Beautiful.
let's see what happened after that. I will tell you.
Beautiful. So that's a little prelude to what she's going forward with. And then she told me a little bit of insight that she's a part of a contest, correct? That you are being voted
Oh
for.
yeah.
And this has a lot to do with this topic, guys. So would you like to share that, Betsy?
Well, I don't want to bother much, but too much. But yeah, I was on Instagram one day, and I never been. I like my body being natural. Like I never use any products to grow my muscles and anything. I've been always very natural, and and I was on Instagram and I saw okay, sign up for a contest, and I said okay, let me sign up. It's fitness. Let me see what is this, and I signed up, and then by conclusion, to, to make the story short, um, I passed to the quarterfinals. But it's just me. I'm Zumba. I am, I promote healthy life. I promote happiness. I promote movement, but I am not a bodybuilder. And it's me and the other girls all are bodybuilders. And I think it was out of any of nobody thought that it could happen, but well, I am there and I'm so happy. I feel so grateful because it's an amazing opportunity to be a voice of what wellness is. Wellness is not just how to look like a perfect body or to look super muscles or look wellness is a complete cycle of mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, plus physical workout. It's all together. And I would love to be the voice of that because I think it's an opportunity to touch those people who don't feel identified, who maybe feel that they are not enough beauty or enough something because the standard out there is too high. And we need to remember how amazing we are the way we are. And this is something I want to promote. It's something I want to spread the voice, like super loud everywhere. So it's the Muscle and Fitness Hers magazine, and if I win, I have two amazing opportunities. One is being the cover of the magazine for the first time. It would be if I win, like a skinny girl, no muscle girl, but happy girl. And also I would love to use the money to open. I lost my studio. I had a studio here in Miami, but I lost it with COVID because it was too difficult to maintain it. And I would love to open again. And I want to call that space "Me Happy Place," like in Spanish, "Me Happy Place." I want to open a space to offer meditation, sound healing, Purium, acupuncture, movement, but more focusing in happiness and wellness from inside out. So, well, if you want to support me, I would be so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you for your share today. And please, everyone, support her for this contest. It sounds phenomenal. And to have a voice like that in our community, that's what we need. We're looking to empower each other by creating more community.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And before to finish, I don't want to take one, but please, we need to we need to do something for the next generation, guys. This is a really SOS. Like they need us, like so much. I'm suffering in my own, and thank God my daughter has a family like us, but not all the kids has that support, and they need us. They need to be like supported, they need to be educated, they need to be like actually illuminated, because they are powerful, but they need to be lead, and it's in our hands. Thank you.
Thank you for adding that. That was a really beautiful, powerful last statement. We're here as the Million Mom Movement for exactly that, Betsy. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to go over to Illinois. So Miami to Illinois. I'm in Pennsylvania, by the way. So our community is spanning the country. And we're going over to Audree Roberts. So I just met Audree through our other council member, Jodi Parker, and she's her brand partner. And she was referred to me because I was looking for someone in the community who could speak to specifically eating disorders. So this is something that I feel when we're discussing beauty image and also nutrition, we can't discount that this is a major issue in our society. And why? Why is this happening? How does it start? How is this created, this dysfunction? And I'm so honored to have her share also her story. That's a very vulnerable, and allow her to pass the mic to share as a mother of four, guys. She's a mother of four. And she is going to share how she came really through the shadows of this specific disorder. So Audree, take it away. I'd love for you to share.
Hi, thank you very much. Betsy, thank you so much for sharing. That was absolutely beautiful. I got a lot out of that. So thank you. Yeah, so my story, I am 33 and I have 4 daughters of my own. My oldest is 16 and then 15, 7, and 18 months. And so I guess my story really starts at about age 11. My family always had really disordered ideas around eating and around food, and value was placed on weight a lot, or on looks. So growing up, I heard a lot of things like, oh, you would be so much prettier if you fill in the blank. And so by age 11, then I developed anorexia. And so all of my value was placed on, well, if I could just be thin, if I could just have straighter teeth, if I could just, whatever, then I would be loved by my family or by, whoever it was that I was trying to get acceptance from. And so I had to make notes because I know when I get nervous, then I go all over the board. But when I was about 13, I had one of my best friends, then she told me that I was too overweight for us to ever share clothes again, which doesn't sound like it would be a big deal. But for the two of us, then we were always sharing clothes and stuff like that. And we had always pretty much been the same size. And here I was already with anorexia. And that kind of I guess blew the top off for me. So in addition to not eating, then I also started abusing laxatives, which is not a good time at all. I would get my allowance for the week and I would walk about half a mile to the store and I would buy them and I would come home. And then I had it even down to knowing when to take them so that I would be sick when my parents were in bed. So I didn't have nobody knew about it. Nobody knew that I was hiding food or any of those things. And so let's see here. I'm sorry. But so I ended up in and out of the hospital for dehydration and for malnutrition. And there were several people. I mean, I remember my dad saying that if I didn't start eating soon, then he was going to have me admitted so that, I would take care of myself. And my dad has always been, one of my biggest cheerleaders. But I don't think that they knew how bad it had gotten. And so when I was so at 16, I had my first daughter. And throughout that entire pregnancy, then I continued to not take care of myself. And I ended up with preeclampsia, and my daughter was born at 34 weeks. And they weren't sure that she was going to make it. She stayed in the NICU for several days, and I wasn't allowed to leave her. I wasn't allowed to see her because my blood pressure was too high and I was too sick. So that should have been my first wake up call. But instead it was all about, well, if I can just get back to being the weight that I was before I got pregnant, then everything would be fine. And it was very, like, everything was around that number. That number meant more to me than anything else, it seemed. So then I had my second daughter at 18, and I had only gained 5 pounds. I actually didn't know that I was pregnant with her because I hadn't started having a menstrual cycle again at 6 months. So at 6 months, I passed out at work, and because I hadn't eaten, and the manager there was like, "You're going to the doctor. You have to go get checked out." So I went and got checked out, and they were like, "Well, either your uterus is swollen or you're pregnant." And I was like, "Well, what does it mean if my uterus is swollen?" And they said, "Wait, hold on, we're going to take a pregnancy test first." And I found out that I was pregnant, but I had only gained 5 pounds at 6 months along. So they were very concerned, and they had me on these absolutely terrible, like, protein shakes. I want to say that they were Ensure or something. I don't know. They were chalky and disgusting, and I poured most of them down the drain, which wasn't the point. Like, I needed to be eating anyway. But again, my mind was not straight. My mind wasn't right. So I had Jada and I had Madison, and I was working like 60 hours a week being a single mom and trying to figure everything out. And when I was 24, then I was working in this cute little coffee shop in our downtown. And that's where I feel the happiest, is just helping people. And like, people would come in, and my goal was always to leave them in better condition than what they came in. So that's perfect in a coffee shop because people generally aren't angry when they get their coffee. It generally makes their day. So I felt I loved that job. But I was working and I hadn't eaten. I don't even think I drank any water that day. And I started getting really, really dizzy and disoriented. And I didn't feel like my vision was right. My heart started racing. And now I know that I was probably having my first panic attack. But at the time, I was convinced that I was dying. I had pushed myself too far, and I knew that I needed to eat something all day that day, and I chose not to. And so for me, it was really like, I don't know, like the nail in the coffin. It was like, okay, I absolutely have to start taking care of myself. I was curled up in the fetal position on the kitchen floor, and my manager was bringing me potatoes with other vegetables mixed in, and some water and salt, and pretty much just throwing the entire kitchen at me to see, what would help, if anything would help. And I was down for about 2 hours. I finished closing up the shop late, and then I just went home. And I was like, but while I was on the floor, I kept saying, I absolutely can't do this anymore. Like, I don't know. I believe in God. And so for me, I was like, okay, God, if you just let me see my daughters one more time, I'll do anything. I'll eat 3 meals a day. And because bargaining with God always works, of course. And so for me, I was, very determined from that point forward that I wasn't going to mess around. I wasn't going to play the game, because that's really what it had become to me was, how low can I get the number on the scale to go? How little can I eat and still function? And that day, I honestly thought that I was going to die. So I decided to pull myself out of it. And to this day, I have not skipped a meal. And like I said, I'm 33, so that was 9 years ago. And I'm very, very committed to making sure that I'm getting the nutrition in absolutely every way possible.
Wow, guys. And how many of you in the audience relate to something like this, right? Or even just an aspect of what Audree had spoken about that she'd gone through. It may not be the full disorder, but we have had these thoughts of being obsessive. So let's hear, Audree, a little bit about what's the future for you? How are you today? So, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing where it started from, and how the darkness really was a dark space for you to where you are now.
Yeah, so now I've healed adrenal fatigue naturally. I have I was diagnosed with an autoimmune thyroid condition, and actually, because of my diet, have it. All of my numbers are level; they're all good. And so for me now, everything is about nutrition. Like I don't focus on and if I want to have a piece of chocolate, then I have the piece of chocolate. Like it doesn't have to be this big like mountain that I have to overcome, or there doesn't have to be shame with it, or anything like that. If my body's craving it, then I allow that. So for me now, it's all about the nutrition, which has been fantastic with Purium, because I know that like in one power shake, I am getting a far better breakfast than I could ever get with absolutely anything else. So that's been huge.
Amen.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited to see all the things that you're going to be doing in this community, also in the Million Mom Movement, Audree. And thanks for being a mom on a mission with all of us, sharing and impacting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on now to Chicago. So moving around the country up north, and she is one of my brand partners. Her name is Nicole Goss. She is a Million Mom Movement Scholarship recipient, and she was introduced to the community through Jocelyn Gordon. And Nicole, I'm so excited to introduce because she is an incredible advocate for change, agent of change, for transformation. And I was so inspired by her story and her storytelling. So she's an influencer on Instagram and TikTok. You can go find her at Black Girl Hoopin'. And she breaks the mold, guys. She does not, let these standards and stereotypes of what people might think of fitness and hula hooping as a sport, what it might look like. She created her own image of what that looks like, and it's beautiful, it's vibrant, and it's so fun. So you've got to go follow her at Black Girl Hoopin'. And she actually also, and I'll let her talk about this, has an incredible goal, which is the Guinness World Record. So she's also a mother, and I welcome you, Nicole Goss, to the stage.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure. I wasn't sure. Hi, everyone. It's so beautiful to be in community with everyone who has spoken so far, such amazing stories and gems, and just amazing.
So yeah, Nicole, we'd love to have you share a little bit about um, specifically what led you to create your brand on Instagram, really, because Black Girl Hoopin', tell us a little bit about your own personal story with body image and body positivity, which we know is actually we discussed this a little bit. There is a movement called body positivity, and I had asked you about that in the African American community. But if you want to share a little bit about your take on body positivity.
Oh, okay. So, what led me to hula hooping was, of course, I was on my own wellness journey at the time. And I was just like, oh, I wanted to do something fun. And it's so funny. Betsy said she was a Zumba instructor because that's how I got introduced to hula hooping. I had a Zumba instructor who was like, I got a hula hooping class on Thursday. And at the time, I couldn't hula hoop, but I had my daughter with me because I had dragged her to class. I was like, oh, don't you want to support your mama? And she was like, I want to do, the hula hooping. And so I was like, well, fine, we could go. You did something I want to do. We could do something you want to do. And, I went into class. And of course, I struggled at first, but then this lady, she came in, and she was like a hoop angel with all these big hula hoops. And she was like, you probably just have the wrong size hoop, which was correct. And so once I got in the right size hoop and a little instruction from my daughter, because she was like, I can't have you out here looking like that. I was able to nail it down. And it felt so good. Like my body was sweating, I was pumped, my mood was boosted. I was like, what's going on with my body? What's happening with my body? And so I went home and I just started doing all of this research about hula hooping and the benefits and the different styles and what people, do with them. And one thing I noticed is that I didn't see any people that looked like me. It took me a long time to find a person with my body type hula hooping. And then it also took me a long time to find someone who was black that was hula hooping. And I was like, okay, when I was growing up, I remember seeing, black women and girls hula hoop. So why am I not seeing them, perform with the hula hoop, dance with the hula hoop, doing tutorials? Like, why am I not seeing this? Where are they at? So I got on, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get on Instagram and I'm gonna call myself Black Girl Hooping. So if anybody else is out there and they're looking for a black girl that's hula hooping, they're gonna find me. We're gonna find each other, and we're gonna be able to be, the representation that we need. We'll be able to see each other. If someone is out there, they have my body type, and they see me hooping, then that's gonna be the representation for them because I'm a person that I believe in the statement representation matters. And I believe that when you see someone that looks like you or comes where you're from, or is in a journey that you've been in and you see them going through it, you see them doing it, that it matters to you and you're like, wow, I could probably do that too. Look at them. They're doing it. They're having fun. I want to do it too. So when people come to my page, or to my classes or whatever, like that's what I want them to feel. I don't want them to feel like what I do is beyond their reach. I don't want them to feel like they can't do something because they're a particular size, a particular height, they look a particular way. I want them to know that no matter what, you can do it. If there's a will, there's a way, and if you see me doing it, I'm doing it, you can do it.
And that's the role model Nicole is. She takes it and runs with it. And I love that energy and that spirit. So what we're seeing here is, radical self-love, right, Nicole? And I love that. So tell us about why you created this goal for your Guinness World Record and what it is. So how can they support you too? Let's help support Nicole.
Okay. So I created this goal for a Guinness World Record because number one, there aren't many people that look like me that hold Guinness World Records for hula hooping, especially in the US. If people don't know, hula hooping is it's bigger in the UK. Like, you can find performers and things like that. And it's especially popular among, like circus arts, hula hooping, because there's different styles, you know. And I was like, I'm known for hooping with my big hoop. And a lot of people would first see my big hoop and they'd be like, oh, that's too big. It's too large. What are you going to do with that hoop? Why are you using that big old hoop? Because at the end of the day, I'm a big woman. I'm an adult. You know? And I can't use the children's hoop because it's for children. It's not for adults. But an adult size hoop is a hoop that's for me and it fits me. And so I was like, since, I have this style and I'm always using these really big hoops, it would make sense for me to hold the record for the largest hula hoop spun. And also just to show people that someone with my body type does have the athletic ability to do that. Because the thing that I feel like people don't understand is that being fit is a feeling. It's not a look. It's a feeling. It's how you feel inside, how you feel within your body. And I tell people all the time, as long as your body is doing what you need to do when you need to do it, how you need to do it, then you should feel good about your body.
Oh, you guys
Oh,
have,
and you can support me. I forgot
yes,
that part.
please.
I forgot that part. You can support my journey. I forget sometimes. Yeah, by following my page. And I have a link in my bio that says Making History with Black Girl Hooping, because I did raise the money before to get the hula hoop, and then the hula hoop broke. And then I went back and somebody took it. I don't know what they did with it. It has not been found. So I have to get another hoop. And it's very expensive because it has to be made of aluminum instead of the regular PCV or polypro piping. So someone has to especially make it and weld it together. So if you want to support that journey, you can follow my Instagram, go to my bio, and donate to my GoFundMe to help me get a new hoop.
Oh, that's what community is all about, Nicole, and we'd love to support you. And thank you so much for being that light in your community and creating a new path for other Black girls who want to hoop and see that it's possible. Showing people that it's possible and what you're doing, that you're plant-based, you're aligned with the community of Purium. It's all going to really help you to launch a full perspective of who you are, and because food is fuel, nutrition is fuel, and your brand is full of energy, full of fitness, and fuel go hand in hand, and it's synonymous. It's synonymous. It has.
Very true. Very true. Very true. I tell people all the time, because that's the thing too. Like, people would assume by my body type that I lead a certain type of lifestyle. But I don't. Like, I'm a very active person. I'm plant based and things like that. And all of that was just about like how I feel in my body, what goals I'm trying to accomplish. Is my body helping me to do what I need to do when I need to do it? And all of those, things right there. Because I tell people all the time what made me change was like, when I was eating certain things, it doesn't make me feel good. My body is like, oh no, baby, what is you doing? So I want to feel light. I want to, I'm at the beach all the time. I love to be at the beach, hula hooping in the sun. I can't be doing that and not be, properly fueled.
That's right. Oh, well, thank you so much for being here, Nicole, and sharing your beautiful story. And thank you to also Audree Roberts, to Betsey Hernandez. And guys, I mean, these stories, there's so much message about compassionate self-care, right? Like you heard what Nicole said to her body. You felt it when she said it. Critical awareness of the space they were previously in and to where they want to be, and then radical self-respect. These are three really important components to having a positive image of yourself and your body. So we did start a few minutes later, and I'd love to open up the call to some questions for any of the ladies that anybody might have, and it would help if you guys came on camera as well when you ask the question. So does anyone have any questions? Or would like to share anything with the ladies too?
If you're not aware, click on participants and you'll see a little arrow that says more, and you can raise your hand. And we're more likely to see you if you're on camera, and we can unmute you.
Yes, thank you, Jodi. And before we do say anything, we do have the next Lunch and Learn that's coming the next month, the third Wednesday of the month. And it is our chair, Stephanie Dawn, is bringing on Annie Ibarra, so our founder's new wife, who heads up the Awaken Autism Foundation. And we're talking about autism and nutrition next. So stay tuned next month. So we've got a lot of really great topics in store for you. So yeah, does anyone have any questions tonight about positive body image for any of the ladies, or in general, any statements? See if there's anything in the chat. I think everybody's asking how we can get in touch with you and how we can support you. So yes, just follow their names on IG, Facebook, and on the Million Mom Movement page. They're also on the Million Mom Movement Facebook official. They're members. Friend each other, friend us on the council. We'd love to connect with y'all. Somebody's trying to unmute, I'm not sure, let's see. No questions? We're good to close up? Oh, Camille, I knew she was trying to hit that button. She was looking for it. Okay, let's unmute Camille.
Hey, this is such a good topic. I wanted to just thank you guys for sharing your voices today. And Nicole, we've actually met a little bit before chatting in Meetup, and I'm in Chicago too, and I'm here in Hawaii. We just did a really amazing business retreat with, and Stephanie Dawn was at our retreat, sharing more about gathering together as women, you know, leading with the Million Mom Movement. And Nicole, if you would like to connect in Chicago, I would love to do that and to really start helping to support women with our movement, you know, and bring in this nutrition. And yeah, so I'm going to shoot you a message on Instagram, but I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi and just thank you for sharing this space today with us.
Chicago in the house. I think I don't know if you wanted to say something, Nicole. There we go.
Oh, yes, I did. That's amazing. I would love to meet up, to get together, to do something. Of course, bring the hoops and something like that. But I also did want to mention, because someone mentioned in the chat being trauma informed. And I remember earlier, Carmela, you did ask me, and sometimes I get to talking and rambling and I skip over things. But you did ask me about body positivity in the African American community and the body positive movement and things like that. And I would like to say body positivity is it's a part of my brand, because it is it's kind of like a trendy tag word right now. I know that people know what I mean when I say body positivity, but I am a person that I would prefer the term, you know, body liberation or body acceptance or body neutrality, because a lot of times people like to attach body positivity to just the feeling of, you know, being beautiful or not being considered beautiful by society standards. And even though, yes, a lot of us deal with that, especially women, you know, there's all out here marketing to us, make, because we need to stay young and, you know, ever forever. But I really, you know, the body positive movement was really started by fat people and people with disabilities, because it not only affects their image of themselves and how they see themselves, but it affects the way that they're treated in society. Just as, for instance, like I said, a lot of people assume that I have certain habits because of the way that I look. They could assume that, oh, I'm lazy. And then I could go to the doctor and the doctor would tell me right away, well, you need to lose, you know, you need to lose weight. You need to lose 30, 50 pounds. And instead, it could be something serious going on with my body. I could have cancer. I could have an ovarian cyst. I could have anything. But instead of them really checking it out, they would assume because of my body type that the issue is that I need to lose weight. I'm not being active. I'm not eating correctly and things like that. There are lots of people, with my body type that will go to the doctor and leave undiagnosed because, they have this body type, and so even people with, disabilities, people assume that they're not capable of certain things, or people don't always consider them a factor, when they're designing events, designing places, doing things, and stuff like that. So I just want us also to keep that in mind too, that when we're talking about body positivity, when we're talking about body acceptance and liberation and all of those things, that all of those things are included too, not just, our image. And especially, like, I love the part that Betsy said about, teaching her children. Like, we have to teach our children and that the next generation, we have to teach them that acceptance, that self-love, that liberation, and that thing like that. And the funny thing is, I tell people all the time, I teach these lessons to my daughter, and sometimes I have to catch myself. I'd say stuff to her, and she'd be like, I don't like that you said that. And then it's like, well, I can't say anything because, this is the person that I'm raising, and it makes me smile that she feels the liberation and the autonomy to be able to, carry herself in her body within the way that she wants to. So I just want to leave that. I know that was a lot.
Thank you for leaving us with that note. And it's perfect timing to close up with that statement. Thank you so much, Nicole. I love it. It's lots of great feedback here on the chat from those statements too. So thank you for your messaging. It left me with a lot in my heart to pass on these words to my children. And I really appreciate all of your positive messaging today. Thanks everyone for being on. Have a beautiful rest of your month. See you next Friday on Fierce Friday. Bye-bye.